Welcome to Steven tutorial. Today we want to talk about Flexbox, okay? Flexible layout. So we want to know what Flexbox stands for and how you can actually work with Flexbox. So without much ado, I want to ask, what is Flexbox? Flexbox stands from the word flexible. It makes things to be very easy. So Flexbox model or Flexbox box layout model is what I refer to as the Flexbox. Okay, don't forget. So it's always a box layout. You can call it Flexbox box model. Okay, so it is a one-dimensional layout that is modeled for distributing space between items, and these also include numerous alignment capabilities. Okay. So Flexbox has two major advantages. One, it is used for layout, to display layout, and also to create space. Okay, to create space. And we also has alignment capabilities. You can align to the right, align center, flex start, and stuff like that. So why Flexbox? Well, before now, this is a very big problem for all web developers. How they can lay out their text. If you could remember when we deal with float, I told you float came in. But before float came, the first thing that came in on board was table, HTML table layout. And that's why here you see a little div that I just create something very simple and actually use inline div, inline CSS for this. So that because it's just to show what happened in the past. Okay, normally we are not supposed to be moving on using internal CSS. But for now, I use internal CSS just because we want to show you what is happening in the past, not inline internal CSS. If you look at internal CSS, you see actually draw a div, just like a table as you said. So the first one is table, next one is inline block.html, that one is absolute position.html, another one is float.html, and flex.html. So these are just what I want to just discuss about and show you why Flexbox pass it on. That's what I just create on my div in my HTML body. So right there in internal CSS, which is the head of the HTML, I give the paragraph, these three paragraphs you are seeing, a padding of 0, margin of 0, font weight of 700 pixels. Okay, then I put them on a list, and because they're on a list, I don't want the list, those point to appear. So that's why I did the list style as none. All these things you did them before. So I put them on a container div, and that container I made the padding to be 10 pixels. I give a background color of gold yellow. Okay, so that is what you are actually showing like this. That's why it's like this. Okay, so then now this is just a table format. How you can actually display this on a table. And if you check very well, you have to do all of this before it can actually perfectly work on a table. So that has not been easy, because even with that, at a time, many developers have to start doing a lot of calculation to get all of this, and that is what brings us to float. Okay, so when float comes in, things become a little bit easier, but not completely easy, because float has its own disadvantage as well. Let's right click and come over to float. Yeah, these are float. So on this float as well, that same div that we created before now, on internal CSS, I give me the same background of Cora, and actually give me a margin of 10 pixels. That's why you are seeing this space, margin of 10 pixels, and actually put them on a box of .1. Okay, on a class of 1 class of 1. So under the .1, I actually float to the left, and I make the width 25%. Then for 2, I make that width 25% as well, and also float left. And for the third one, which is 3, I give me a float to the left as well, and a width of 40%. And if you check what happened, look at the 40%, look at the 25%, and look at 25%. Among these two, what did you see? You see there's a space here. And float comes with a problem. Now if I'm to write another thing here, instead of maybe after this session, I will go to another session. We did this before now, so I don't want to be wasting time on it. Instead of going to another session, you know that when we're doing float, if you type like footer for instance, it will come over here and center here, instead of coming to the next session. So for you to clear this, you have to start making use of clear fields and stuff like that. So actually float has its own problem. And if the website become more complex, the magazine layout become more complex, then float cannot really work much. And for float to work much, you have to do intensive calculation. You have to calculate your width, your border, your size, your clear fields. You know, a lot of tasking on your part as an engineer, you know, as a web developer. So this creates a whole lot of problem. So people started looking for another solution. And in search of solution comes Flexbox. Okay, Flexbox, from the word you've seen, try to make things to be very, very easy. Okay, and this Flexbox, when we go to Flexbox, because we're going to actually demo on Flexbox, don't forget we said that it's a one-dimensional layout. Why this is one-dimensional layout? This is because Flexbox always lay out one thing at a time, one element at a time, and you only make use of two, which is your row and your column. Okay, so you can't work on column and row at the same time. Either you are working on a row or working on a column. And for us to also, if you want to work on both at the same time, you have to make use of CSS grid, which is not on this class, but very soon get to CSS grid. Okay, so Flexbox makes things easy, because when you want to describe Flexbox as being one-dimensional, we are just trying to describe the flex that Flexbox deals with layout in one dimension at a time, either as a row or as a column, as I explained to you. And this can be contrasted with the two-dimensional model, and that is grid, like I told you. So when we're talking about Flexbox, Flexbox has a lot of advantage. And for you to switch on to Flexbox, is always just like the way you see a NEPA when there's light. When light is off, you want to on your lights, okay, right? When you on light, you will be light up. Same thing with Flexbox. For you to, after putting on item like all these items, we don't of all of this and that, all you need just to switch to Flexbox. How do you switch to Flexbox? You use the word display, okay? Just display flex. The mental display flex, Flexbox will come on board. So let me show you straight away. Let's see how Flexbox make all these things very easy. And the bit of Flexbox is that you don't now have to start dealing with, okay, how can I talk about the footer that come over here or the clear fields and stuff like that. No, Flexbox is a model that is very, very powerful and it's unique. Okay, and see Flexbox as a model. It's not just a one-way traffic. Like when we're talking about, let's say we talk about image, you just type image and it come like no. Flexbox has varieties of ways you can work with it. Okay, you have your Flexbox, you have your display flex, you have your justify content, you have your align content, you have so many other ways. I'm going to take them one after the other. Okay, so let's see how flex work. It meant to, for the whole thing, so if you to start giving size of this, size of that, look what we did. Very simple. Dot container, which container is one that contains all the items there. And we say display flex. And for this display flex to work, for us to have this gap, so for us to start using margin 10, padding this, that, you just use gap. Okay, so if you never type display flex, let's use gap. Gap is close to 10 pixels. So gap is a very, very powerful topic as well that will actually expand to grid and the rest of them. But for now, note what gap can do, that it helps to bring in this space you are seeing. 10 pixels and this. So instead of writing 25 pixels, 25, no. Just display flex and they all turn flex. And gap 10 pixels and they all turn 10 pixels. So you can also display inline flex. Okay? Also display inline flex. So talking about Flexbox. Flexbox has two major components. The parents element and the child element. We're going to work with them one after the other. Okay? But note very well, note what we did. This display flex is container. Remember, containers is the parent element. While what those things it contain, the buses and the rest of them is the child element. So we're going to divide them into two. First of all, we deal with the parent element of Flexbox. We'll now go to the child element of Flexbox. So parent element of Flexbox starts with display flex, which is just performed to you now. In our subsequent class, we take over every other aspect of parent element of display flex or Flexbox. Okay, we take them one after the other. We explain them, we work on them, explain them, work on them, explain them, work on them. So this is just an introduction, introducing you to Flexbox, and I want to tell you, welcome to Flexbox. Join us in our next class as we start working properly using our normal way, external CSS, getting our hands dirty, coding it, not the one I've coded already before now, we'll code it live together, one-on-one. We'll code it together and solve it together. See you in that class. I can't wait to see you. Thank you.